Defenses are active.
I've got it pinned down. Concentrate. Fire.
Hi ho! Hi ho!
RPG spotted.
Reason why I've been a little bit lax on uploading videos is one, because I've got to study for uni because I've got exams soon, and two, I bought Cyberpunk 2077. Now, am I enjoying the bugs, the intelligent police AI? No, there is justifiable criticism for the game, but the atmosphere and the city is just some of the most beautiful shit. But okay, staying on topic, right? So I have a Rising Storm 2 Vietnam map tier list in the works, but I want to make a separate video talking about a couple of my most hated maps. Think of it as more or less of a rant, because I'm going to be talking about those maps where you click the join server button and you see what map is currently being played, and then you're just like, oh, it's this complete dog shit. And to add a cherry on top of this pile of shit, the map countdown is just starting, which means that you just walked into a fresh pile of shit. And the thing is, if you live where I live, you just can't join a different server willy-nilly. But I also should say that these maps are obviously my own opinion. You might like these maps or even love these maps, but these are just going based off my personal experience. But I just want to start off with DMZ, and you know, I hate this. I hate this goddamn map, because for starters, right, this is an ARVN sided map. I don't give a shit what anyone has to say. I won't go anything else other than ARVN on this map, unless the other fucking team is full. Then I'll probably just spectate and fly around. And you know, I'll give it credit, right? It does look pretty damn good. I like the sort of atmosphere, the battlefield atmosphere that it has, but you're more or less, right, forced to the sides, because if you run straight to the point, you will get mowed down by myself, because, you know, fuck VC on this map. I go ARVN with the Browning or bar and park my ass on this rock and hit VC from 200 meters away. You are more or less forced to the flanks, and I cannot tell you how many times I've wanted to put my head through a wall because a sniper would sit on some ridgeline 200 meters away and have the height advantage and consistently hit me, and there is just barely nothing I can do about it, since whenever a pixel of myself tries to run onto the point, I get sniped. And yes, I agree that this can be a skill issue, but it has happened so many times for me to warrant enough to just like complain about it. And then the combat zones can just be a little bit dodgy on this map, because I can still go onto A point, go under the tunnels, and people just don't it's so easy to spawn camp on this map is what I'm trying to say. Now, obviously, when I lose the objective, I fall back. Obviously, if I'm falling back, I'm gonna face the enemy and I'm gonna shoot them if they shoot me, okay? Because there's no honor system in this game. If you're retreating, they're still gonna shoot you in the back. So, like, but I'm not gonna just sit there and park my ass on the point and spawn camp. But this is a video game, an online video game, and you just have to more or less anticipate that people are going to be a shit cunt. You know, another thing is, I do not like trenches in this game, because your teammates can block you so easily. It's as if your teammates came out of fucking Fallout 4, because they block your path, and it just makes me so angry, because I'm just like screaming at my computer monitor, move, you fucking, like, just out of the way. And honestly, I have had the urge a couple of times to just put a bullet in my teammate's head. That's bad to say, but it's crossed my mind a couple of times, because they just block my path and I just can't get around them. And since I'm fucking not being able to move around them, I get hit by a sniper from 200 meters away. But moving on to Compound, this was actually one of the first maps I've ever played on when I got this game, and I just wanted to say that it felt much bigger. I have heard horror stories of people who have played on the mega server with 128 people on this map. With 64 players, sometimes I just don't bother playing, because it becomes such a pain to play on. With 128, I cannot imagine. The thing is, right, is that this map isn't even made for 64 players. 16 v 16, yeah, okay, you know, that's fair enough, but 32 v 32, it's just so goddamn bad that you can barely take 3 steps out of spawn without getting your ass blasted. Heck, apparently Bernie's, you know, we had this event actually a couple of weeks, or I don't know how long ago it was, Bernie's versus Australia, or the Farming Zone and Forest Wars. But look, what I'm trying to say is apparently Compound got voted, and that more or less killed things from what I was told. I know I've joked about in the past where I say that if you want to kill a server, just vote for a Supremacy map. Well, this was a literal act of terror, okay, unironically. And you know what? This was supposed to be a democratic democratic process, and Godbound killed it. Sure, some people might like this map because of the pandemonium and the chaos, and the first couple of times I played on this map, I remember that I had a good time, and only recently did I play on it again since 2019, and my god, it was a mistake because I should have just left it as it was, a memory. Heck, I would rather be in an RS2 game where the attackers don't cap A site on resort, because there's at least a fighting chance, at least there's some fun you can have, and it isn't like you're not getting dicked 3 seconds after spawning. And you know what, speaking of Supremacy maps, right, majority of them, in my opinion, they aren't the best, but you know, they aren't too bad. I feel like I go a little bit over the top in terms of Supremacy. Like, sure, majority of the people prefer territories, but you know, most Supremacy maps aren't too bad, but there's one Supremacy map I want to talk about, and that is Quang Tree. The territories and Supremacy map, to be more exact. And I joined the server. It was Quang Tree Supremacy, and I witnessed Anthony have a mental breakdown on this map. The one time I played on it, you know, I joined Anthony's squad, and he bitched and moaned about how shit the map was, and honestly, I agree with him. Another thing is, right, is the Supremacy version, right, of this map gets helicopters. Whoever thought this was a good idea is a certified dumb. Seriously, just print out a sticker that says dumb cunts on it, slap it on your forehead, because you fucking deserve it. Because a skilled pilot could just circle strafe on this tiny ass map and wreak absolute carnage. But speaking of territories, right, this map is defender biased. I have never seen in my life the VC come close to winning. What is beyond this point here? I don't know. I actually don't know, because the map, right, has never progressed to that point. There is just this spot on the left where you could just sit with an M2 carbine and just mow down VC like a fucking chainsaw. And every time they come around the corner, the combat zones need to be reworked, especially for A site. They need to be moved back significantly. You shouldn't be able to push past this area here, because it's just unfair. And you know, there are so many defensive positions that can be taken, and the attackers need to funnel through these narrow areas or go into the exposed open. Now, this is a map I haven't actually played in a while. I do want to play on it again. Sometimes I joke on like the RS2 servers, like, oh yeah, vote for Quang Tree. Now, the last map I want to talk about in today's video, and no, it isn't Resort. I'm saving Resort for the map tier list, because it's like, I understand that some people absolutely hate it and some people absolutely love it, hence why I don't want to sort of go off and talk about only the negatives of that map. But this map in particular, I hate it. I genuinely hate it. It is Highway 13. I have to insert the obligatory, oh, what happened to Highway 12 and Highway 11? No, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do that. Now, if you somehow manage to fuck up defending on this map, there is something wrong with you. You have so many goddamn points to fall back to, and now obviously, the obvious issue with this map is that it's too goddamn long. A smart team just says, screw these points, let's stack the ones on the road, because they are pretty easy to defend. But even when it gets to the hotel objectives, thankfully, you know, smart teammates will put objectives everywhere, and it's basically just a death trap where VC can just hide up the stairs. It just becomes a grenade spam. Sure, you can get the helicopter to try and land on the roof or somewhere, but that doesn't usually work. Very little times have I seen the attackers actually win. A couple of good strats that I actually see Anthony do, like this was ages ago, like last year, he would like sneak up onto the point before it's capped. I don't know what you'd think about this, but the objectives would get capped, and then him and his whole squad would basically already be capping the objective. That's what I think was happening, because the thing is, we lose the objective when I was defending, and then the new objective would just instantly be capped. And I'm like, how the hell are they doing this? We can't even get back in time. So I mean, I suppose that's a strat you want to play on, but if you just look at the Steam comments, some people they're not happy customers, to say the least. But I'm gonna end today's video there. If you have any other map that I might have missed that you probably hate, I'm probably maybe Mekong. I don't like that map, but probably not worth abusing it. I like to go Commander on that map. Saigon, because that kills the server, literally. But honestly, I can't think of any maps where if someone were to ask me, hey, what maps do you hate the most in Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, I can't really think of anything else except for the ones that I mentioned. But anyways, I'm going to end today's video there. I hope you guys did enjoy it, because if you did, please do consider leaving a like, subscribing, sharing the video with your friends and family. Anyways, my name is Tan2, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.